And so we need to, if you're going to not use the color picker, but you want to use something else, you can always Google CSS Color Rgb, and it'll give you a bunch of resources. There's a bunch of websites out there that will do this as well. So we saw this in our PowerPoint. So when using RGB colors, there's an additional parameter alpha that you can use to control the opacity of the color. So basically the opacity is how transparent it is. So alpha can have a value ranging from a minimum 0.0 for full transparency to a maximum 1.0 for a full opacity. So that means it's very opaque, which is you can't see through it, and then 0.0 meaning you can see through it. For example, you can target the body tags and tell it to change the background color to RGBA, so alpha. So the first color is the red value, second color or second number is the green value, then the blue value, and then 0.5. So it's going to be halfway transparent. So this means it'll be a blue, dark blue, like this, but it's going to be halfway transparent. All right. So what we can do is we're going to put this in our external CSS file, like this one that I created. If you did not create one, go ahead and do so. So we're going to target the body, do our little brackets, and then we're going to say background color. You notice it starts to kind of auto-complete it. RGBA. So the red value is going to be 0, green value is going to be 0, blue value is going to be 2.5, and the alpha is 0.5. So it should give us a preview of what that color would look like. And let's go back and see what's next. Alright, try increasing and decreasing the alpha value to examine how that affects the color displayed. And we'll discuss that in class. So when the values of red, green, and blue are the same, you get a gray shade. The higher the matching values, the lighter the shade of gray. So if your RGB values were all the same, you'd get a color of gray or a shade of gray. Higher the value means darker the gray would be until it was, lower the values, the closer to black. Higher the values, the closer to white. Hexadecimal, we covered this a little in the beginning of the year. It's a base 16 number. Binary was a base 2. Hexadecimal was a base 16. We count in a decimal system, which is a base 10, which is right here. So we do 0 through 9 and then start over at 0. Hexadecimal does sort of the same. It starts the same, 0 through 9, and then we do A, B, C, D, E, F. So that's why you were seeing those F values earlier in one of our examples. All right, so here we go. Yes, these. All right. So the minimum color is all zeros, which is the absence of light. So that should be black. And the maximum, which would be all Fs, would be white. So we're going to use, you can use CSS Color Hex to Google anything, or just use Color Picker. Give your H1 element the color value blue by using hexadecimal color values. 00, 00 FF. So we can come here, target our H1, get our brackets, and then we're going to do color, and then we're going to do just our hex code. So 4 zeros FF. So we do hashtag 0000 FF. Semicolon. Alright. So we have a blue background that's halfway transparent, and then a H1 that is the color blue. Okay. So now you have your color palette for your website. How you apply these colors, different elements, depends on the element and whether you're applying the color inline or as part of internal or external style sheet. The internal style sheet is the one where I have it in the style. Let me show you. right here. This is the internal style sheet. Inline was when I did the example right here, and then external is when it's on a different file altogether. Alright. So our example above showed how to apply color to individual elements using the color property. You can style the tag inside an element to color individual words. Okay, so in a paragraph tag, style equals color RGB, and then you give a value. Then it would say something like, it's not easy being green. All right, that would be something that you would type. So you can target specific sentences and words and things like that also. You can also apply a particular color to an entire class in a style sheet, either internal or external. And what this does is you can group things so that you've got one section of your page this color, another section this color. And we haven't really talked about classes yet, but I'll go into it. So a div, or like a divide, is where you can section off parts of your website so that you can target them with different things. So div class attention. So we're giving this group a name called attention, much like a variable. And then we can target that certain ways. Like in our style sheet, we can do dot attention, do our brackets, change the color to red, or the font size, or the font style, so on and so forth. Or you can change the background color for the body of your website. Okay, so body, background color, lavender. Alright. So for your practice, for your first assignment, in applying color to HTML elements, try to color your name, first name, middle name, last name, or all the above. You can color your name letter by letter, word by word, or line by line. Feel free to be creative. You may even want to read ahead to the module on working with texts in CSS. For an extra challenge, do some research on SVG, Scalable Vector Graphics, which we did in our multimedia assignment where we made that black rectangle. We can do shapes and add coloring to those shapes. Okay, so that is your first assignment. You can just go and create a new page. So File, New File, and then we're going to go File, Save As. Make sure you save it into your content. We're going to save it as an HTML, and we're going to call it name color. Okay, so then you're going to hit save, and then here you go. So you obviously need to do your normal stuff. Doc type, HTML, head, body. Alright, I'm not going to add a whole lot to it because this isn't going to be on our actual website. Okay, so H1, I'm going to type coach. You type your first name, or even set this up differently. I'm going to do an H3. I'm going to put my first name. And then I'm going to do a paragraph tag, just so I can target these three different things. I'm going to do an internal style, just so that you can see an example of that. So I can target my H1s, and then color RGB value. Let's do 180, 23. I'm doing a random number. 120. Okay. Then I'm just going to copy, paste, and then I'm going to change these to 3, and then to my paragraph tag. So now I've got everything targeted. I just need to go in and change these values. Like that. And this is nice and easy. I can just click on all that. Okay, so I've got 3 different colors for my 3 different things. So file, save as, make sure it saves, name color, already exists, replace, content, name color, and then there's my 3 colors. Notice they're all different font sizes and stuff because I chose an H1, so it's big and bold. My H3 is a little smaller than that, but it's still bold. And then my paragraph tag, no bold and normal size. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Get that turned in. You're going to be turning in your HTML file, not a screenshot. Okay, turn that into this assignment.